Hey yo guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? Ignore the noise in the background. I gotta replace that fan. What you're hearing is this old exhaust fan. I think the bearings on it are shot or just need cleaning, one of the two. Anyway, I solved my problem with this damn computer. So I solved it and I purposely broke it again to show you. Okay, so right now, if I drag the mouse over here, it's all sideways, right? Like, moving the mouse this left and right makes it move up and down, left and right, up and down. Problem. Basically, it's because of the hardware cursor. The way I figured this out was by going down here in the start, typing in mouse. Then in mouse settings here, you go down to the bottom and click on mouse, pointer, and touch. Right now I got it set to a size 2. Watch what happens when I set it to a size 4. I come over, and it's fine. It's fine now. Oh, but why is it fine at 4? If I bring it down to size 3, move it over, it's broken again. Because guys, this is the hardware cursor. And the hardware cursor, for some reason in Windows, doesn't change. So I did some research and I found a little utility somebody wrote that modifies the registry to use hardware or software cursor. I'm just gonna throw this down. And it's called this. It's called soft cursor. Double click on it, it opens up. We're in hardware mode. So right now, once again, I'll show you. I come over to the edge, pop down, and it's all broken. Like you can see the cursor is even sideways. Come over here and turn it into software cursor mode. Rewrites the registry. And now the cursor is functioning as it should. And I have full access to everything on the screen. Now my big concern is okay, I want to go back in here. I want to make the mouse a little bit bigger because it's kind of like a little dot on the screen. Once you have that set, you can just close out, and everything will stay the same. It should stay the same after a reboot. I haven't tried it yet. I want to jump into Rust and see if it breaks anything. I couldn't find the registry entry for the soft cursor hardware cursor mode. But right now I'm in Rust and everything is still working as it should. So that's pretty sweet. What the hell? That was weird. I also ran into a problem last night where I tried to run Rust and it kept crashing on me. Turns out the video card was overheating, but no, the mouse works properly in the game, so that's perfect. Anything cool in the item store today? Should have new items. Got an adobe wood door, black paladin hoodie, black paladin pants, deep ruby hatchet, deep ruby pickaxe, the ultramarine locker. That's the cutest friggin' door I ever did see. Senor tomato door. I wonder if you can see through the eyes. I wonder if they're windows. That's friggin' hilarious. Popstar Tommy, Jesus Murphy. Paint by numbers much. And the We're Not Friendly Clan garage door skin. I'll rate that 2 out of 10. But I locked the menu screen to 60 frames a second because I don't see the point of having super high speed entrance. But one of the problems I had last night was I was playing Rust and the video card would overheat. And I was like, what the frig? Why is it doing that? So I came over here under settings, was it? Is it settings that I did it? No, it's under performance. And then I went to tuning and the fan was, where the frig was that? Under settings? There was a spot in here where, oh yeah, 0 RPM mode. The fan just wouldn't engage. So I was like, well, what the frick? The temperatures were getting into the 70s and the card was powering down. Like obviously in a properly built computer, this feature is probably great. 0 RPM, you know, keeps the noise down so you're not listening to a fan in the background. But I got noisy McFriggin' exhaust fan over there in the window and it's brutal. So I don't care if this fan spins up. So I redid the curve because originally this was way over here. It would hit idle at 100 degrees Celsius. I thought that was a little bit too insane. But yeah, I'm not doing any overclocking. I'm not doing anything. It works fine for what it is. And I also noticed once I resolved the cooling issue that if you put FSR 4.0 enabled, it'll try and do frame gen in Rust. And let me tell you, it makes a mess of things, like a real hardcore mess of things. No bueno. So I made sure to turn that off in the game. And then I tried it out. I played for a couple hours last night and it ran fine. So that's great. So that's all it is software cursor works fine because the software will adjust, the hardware cursor will not. Now theoretically, you should be using a software cursor anyway, because a lot of games when you have hardware cursor turned on, the cursor won't carry over or the game will try to impose its own cursor like a sword or a gun or something whack like that. That makes me happy that I got it working. I tuned it up with Rust to whatever I could. Rust favors NVIDIA. It's an NVIDIA loving setup. It's got DLSS built in, DLAA, so deep learning anti-aliasing, deep learning super sampling. So you can, if you have like a shitty laptop with a 3050, you can enable DLSS and you can upscale, so you can run at a lower frequency or lower resolution, but upscale it to 1080p or whatever your panel supports, and then you should be pretty much golden there. So anyway guys, it's noon. Well, it's afternoon. It's like 12:30 p.m. right now. I got a ticket assigned to me this morning. I banged it out real quick, and then I spent my morning trying to figure out how do I turn off the software, or how do I turn on the software cursor. I was trying to find a setting in the registry to do it, but then I came across this application somebody wrote that literally just goes and makes the 0 a 1, the 1 a 0 in the registry for you, so you don't have to go and hack your registry. Because let me tell you, I tried everything. Remember how I mentioned I was thinking about putting the old NVIDIA card back in there just so I can change everything back to not use portrait mode, so that when I hook up the AMD card, I'm fine? Well, that didn't work. And apparently it's not just AMD that's having this problem. NVIDIA cards don't, because the NVIDIA control panel will fix it. But AMD and ARC, Intel's ARC, or Intel's, yeah, I think it's ARC. Yeah, the ARC graphic cards, the Alchemist and Battle Mage. Apparently they're having it as well. And the one guy said, oh, I went into the settings and I turned up the cursor size and that solved it. Well, this is what happens when you turn up the cursor size. It'll extend to a certain amount and maintain hardware integrity, but once you scale it too far beyond, it has to switch it to a software cursor, because now it's literally just overlaying a bitmap on the screen of a cursor, so the software is literally telling it where it is on the monitor. The problem with the hardware cursor is if the hardware doesn't adjust for some reason, realizing your monitor's in portrait mode, even though you have it set to portrait mode, if it doesn't realize this, then shit just breaks. So that's a simple solution right there. You can go get soft cursor, install it, and that will allow you to switch to software mode and fix the problem with your screen. So that's pretty sweet. So that software patch seems to work. However, I just realized that there is a high bandwidth digital protection enabled, and sometimes disabling that can resolve the issue, but not in this case. Okay. Well, we'll see if it does. Right now it doesn't seem to have. I'll wait till all the software loads here. Fun times. Computers are fun, especially when you're dealing with a video card outside of what you're used to. So HDCP is disabled. I pretty much have everything disabled on these monitors, like super resolution disabled, GPU scaling disabled, scaling mode disabled. Set it to full panel, doesn't even make a difference. Center doesn't even make a difference. So far, the only thing you can do to fix this is to go with a software cursor. So that seems to be the solution. Son of a bitch. It's going to be a bit of a continuity issue. I made a short about the issue I'm having with the cursor, just so people know there is a fix out there. Maybe somebody else. I found a way to add to the registry to disable hardware mouse cursor, but for some reason it's not working. If it did work, that'd be the solution for all. A simple registry fix. I can't seem to find the location. Any hoozle, I'm taking my lunch break. I just got to run to the corner store real quick. Just gonna grab a snack. I got stuff here I can cook, but nothing's taken out and nothing's de-thawed. So I say frig it. We'll just go to the corner store and grab some snacks. At least the one by my house has the old snacks I used to get from the one at work. The one at work, he removed a bunch of shit from the shelves, basically reducing his stock so that he could sell beer. Oh guys, also I want to show you, we're slowly losing the snow again. The one thing I want to take a look at is this boat tent because we had some wind yesterday and it sounded like it came apart. My tape fell off, but the door is still holding on. I already called my buddy's cousin. She runs canvas company and they make the tops for those Shelter Logics out of this better than the crap they use. Like you'll get 3-4 years tops out of that material. Then you got to put a new cover on it. My buddy has been running one of these covers from this company for 12 years and you'd swear he just installed it. Like it's so good. So yeah, I've been contemplating still what to do with the boat. I know it works. It just needs a few things. And these little tillers, like a lot of you mentioned, you know, these little tiller motorboats are so much easier than the big ones with the steering wheels to deal with because like there's so little that can go wrong with them. And the more I do research on the Johnston outboard, the more I realize a lot of you guys are right. They are very, very, very basic and super easy to deal with. I just wanted to look beside my house to see how much snow is by the furnace exhaust. This just in, there's no snow by the furnace exhaust, so that's cool. Man, today is sure a beauty day out. Look at it. It's friggin' blue skies, no clouds. They're calling for freezing rain again tomorrow, but whatever. New rain to melt the old rain, I guess. I don't frickin' know. Who the frick knows? Oh, frick. I almost hit a bird. Almost hit a bird. Not allowed to do that. I'm not driving the Trans Am. Trans Am has claimed the life of 3 birds so far. A robin, a seagull, and some other bird, that raven and or crow. I don't know. I have a hard time telling them apart. Usually ravens are bigger than crows, and usually I can tell them apart when they're making their sounds, because like crows caw and ravens just make a different sound, I think. But the worst was the robin, because he went underneath the car, bounced off the catalytic converter, and when I looked at my rearview mirror, because I felt the thump, I didn't feel it, but I heard the thump, and that was when I had the old catalytic and it was plugged, so it was heating up and glowing red. I looked in the rear view mirror and the bird was smoking, and I just kind of giggled and went firebird. But yeah, that car is claimed. Oh, and I also claimed a fox. That car has seen some animal abuse, and the worst part was the fox. I was driving out to my buddy's house and it was at night, and the freaking thing darted across the highway, and by the time I realized it was there, it was too late, and it leapt. I caught it with the front clip. Surprisingly enough, it didn't explode like shitty plastic. It held together. I get to my buddy's house and I just look in the front, and there was debris all over the car, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to wait till the morning to look this over. Well, we tied one off that night. So sure enough, the next day we wake up at noon. The sun's been out all day like today, and there was blood all up the frickin' hood of my car. I was like, holy shit, what happened? There was like frickin' debris and stuff, and it baked to the paint. So I have to drive this car back down the highway. Looks like I smoked a small child and decapitated him. I really don't need the HVAC on right now. Like I said, I just wanted to go to the corner store around the corner from my house, because they got a lot more space in here, therefore more snacks. All right, I'll be back. Talking politics on the inside there, because he asked me if I got gas. I said no, but holy, that price is freaking tempted to. I don't need any, but I'm freaking tempted to. And he's like, yeah, it's down 20 cents. And I'm like, I know. And that's because they temporarily removed the carbon tax from consumers. That's what CTC said he was going to do. If you're wondering who CTC is, that's Carbon Tax Carney. But here's the thing. So he removed it from the consumer, so we don't pay carbon tax on our natural gas, we don't pay carbon tax at the pump, but he doesn't plan on scrapping the entire carbon tax for the industries and the consumers. By scrapping the consumer carbon tax, all that does is I'm going to get a rebate at some point, my final carbon tax rebate, and then there's going to be no more carbon tax rebates. That's gone. That was only put in place to offset the consumer carbon tax, but that's gone now. What they're going to end up doing if the Liberals get in is they're going to scrap the carbon tax, relabel it. They're going to call it a shadow tax or give it some new name, because this is what all they have to do. Scrap one policy and build another one. They're going to build a new carbon tax, which is going to be aggressively higher than the current one, because the one guy that he has on his team, that Carbon Tax Carney has on his team, said, if there's no carbon tax, I am quitting as a politician. I am not doing this anymore. Little French guy. I can't remember his name, but he's an idiot. I think it's Gilmo or something like that. He is an advocate, big time freaking tree hugger. He really, really said that if there's no carbon tax, I'm quitting politics. and I'm going back to fight the good fight. Well, you know what, bud? Pitter patter, have at her, get the frig out of Parliament. Like, whatever. So they're going to come back with a carbon tax that's going to be so heavy. Now, it won't be consumer facing, but it will be. It's going to be industrial facing. So all of the refineries, all of the oil pumping in Alberta, the metal making, the aluminum foundries, the steel foundries, probably some of the automotive sector, anything that has a carbon footprint is probably going to get charged 4 times heavier than what they're being billed in carbon taxes now. Now that, along with the current tariffs on steel and aluminum and energy, is going to make vehicles so flippin' expensive. Now, I get Trump wants to move manufacturing back to the U.S. I get that. I 100% get that. It kind of makes sense, you know. If I ran a country, I wouldn't want to be handing out labor to other countries if I had the manpower and the capability to do it at home. If you have the factories to be building these cars all in Michigan, or Michigan and, yeah, Detroit, Michigan. If Detroit can build all these cars, then why is Canada getting involved? It's because either A, you can't do it, you don't have the manpower to do it, you don't have the facilities to do it. We have facilities you need, so that means you got to make these new facilities, right? Well, that means you got to build buildings, you got to set up infrastructure, you got to do all this crazy shit, and that takes time. Like I said before, bloke took me through London, Ontario, and on the south side of London, Ontario, there's a whole bunch of land that is completely cleared up, and there's buildings going in there, there's foundations going in there, because they are building one hell of a massive industrial park in there. It's going to be crazy. It's going to have everything you can think of, from metal foundries to production machine shops. Hell, maybe they'll put some oil refineries in there. You never know what they're gonna do. You never know. But it is pretty friggin' intense. And the footprint of this area is almost the size of North Bay, like the city I live in. So that's a lot of freaking real estate going in. Now, my big concern is if something happens, Carney miraculously wins. Like, we can't trust the polls right now. There's so many things online showing why the polls aren't valid. The polls aren't showing Alberta. The polls aren't showing Saskatchewan. The polls aren't showing Manitoba. It's like literally showing the voters in Ontario and Quebec. And this is all a psychological gameplay to convince people that they're wasting their time and there's no point in voting. The hell's this? And while I was gone, another ticket showed up. Oh yeah. Okay, fun times. All right, guys. The main reason why I like the corner store by my house versus the one at work is the one at work doesn't sell these Cookie Plus. There is 20 grams of protein in this cookie. There is no sugar, 5 grams of fiber, and they have it listed at 8 grams of carbs, 20 grams of protein, 25 grams of fat. I love these things, and like, it's a big dirty cook. I used to get one of these for breakfast every day with a coffee. Like, that's a big freaking cookie. That's a big cookie. They had these Prime energy drinks on for $1.50, so I grabbed 2 of them. They're actually pretty tasty. Wish the can was a little bigger. Like, it's made from caffeine and vegans, so it's got to be healthy. Well, guys, I just tried to stream freaking Schedule 1. This happened. Ignore the fact that it looks whack. Here, I'll make it easier for you guys to read it. Basically, computer kept crashing. I'm just gonna skip the advanced repair, let it boot up in normal mode. I don't know why it's picking that monitor as a default monitor, but whatever. I told you guys I posted that short. Somebody brought up something that I didn't do that I should have done, was use the display driver uninstaller program from Guru 3D. Literally, it would probably solve all my problems. I know the issue with this, did it not turn back on? Anyway, I know the issue with this computer is that the NVIDIA drivers, there's something in the registry from NVIDIA that is holding old settings, and that's a problem. So is it gonna boot, or is it gonna go into frickin' protection mode again? Preparing automatic repair. Oh man. Well, that thing I don't like doing, you know, the Windows reset, we're probably doing that. Okay, there was an option to continue to Windows 11. Let's just see if it actually boots. Because, yeah, I was told the game section 1 is, or schedule 1, sorry. It's still preparing automatic repair. Frig's sakes. Yeah, we're doing a Windows reset. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I was told that schedule 1 is a pretty unoptimized game. But, like, A 9070 shouldn't bring your computer to 15 frames per second. So let's see what options we have here. Advanced options. Turn the mouse sideways. This is awkward. Reset this PC. You know what? We're factory resetting this thing. There was a problem resetting your PC. Oh, for frig's sakes. Troubleshoot. Reset this PC. Keep my files. Well, this is fun. I changed the monitor to use this one here as the first monitor because that whole tilting sideways to deal with this thing was getting ridiculous. So I might have to make a recovery disk for this machine because I don't think Windows Reset's gonna work. Yeah, starting to think I should have just bought NVIDIA. Well, this is weird. I was able to get it to boot by using a USB device and selecting the hard drive, and it worked. And the computer booted back up, and check this out. Now everything's working fine. I haven't changed anything on the cursor side. I don't even have my application running and things are okay. But I don't know why the GPU temperature is hitting 51 degrees Celsius doing nothing. Like, I'm just gonna crank these settings right up. I don't know what safe tolerance is for this card. Friggin' Discord. I tell Discord not to launch when I start the computer and it does all the time. Crazy. So usually when I launch into Rust and then I exit out, it breaks the screens on the side. Let's see what happens this time around. Now it's broken. So it was fine, and then I launch into Rust and it breaks. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try that DDU uninstaller. Smoke the video card drivers, get rid of everything, because it's probably trying to reference NVIDIA shit. Because like, you come over here, right? Look at that. So now we'll quit out of here, quit out of here. You see, like I'm moving the mouse across, boom. So let's go ahead, we'll crack open browser here and we'll do a DDU. Alrighty, DDU ran, did its thing. Why does it want to do automatic repair all the time? What is wrong with this computer? When you install a graphics card that is more expensive than the computer you installed it into, and it causes nothing but a headache. So this is all I did last time, was went to use a USB device, clicked on that, and it booted. I might just do an Acer recovery at this point if it's that broken. Of course, it's going to install the NVIDIA drivers because it thinks it has a 4060 in it. So these monitors right now are DDU destroys any information about the monitors attached, which is awesome. Steam pops up like 7 times. The Adrenaline software is gone. I am seriously contemplating just doing a Windows reset and reinstalling my applications as needed. Acer, this program? I'm not, nope, definitely not that program. See, why is the install manager still on? Why didn't it delete that? Or did it? I got some frigging around to do. All right, I was able to fix the bootloader, so that's good. It's booting back in now. This is kind of neat. Now it's just showing Microsoft Basic Display Adapter. Before, when I uninstalled the Radeon software, it still showed RX 9070 in here. Now it just shows the Meta Virtual Monitor for the Meta Quest and the Virtual Desktop Monitor because I have Virtual Desktop. So I'm going to try and reinstall the driver and see what happens. Hopefully this fixes all of my problems and I don't need to use a third-party application to make this work. It's pretty bad that a low-poly game completely bricked my PC. Blows my mind. Alrighty, well, it seems to be working now. Loading into Rust. Before, when I opened up Rust, it would do the thing, but now it's actually working fine. It's actually moving the mouse across all the screens with no problems. No mouse trails. We'll see what the hell this does when it boots in. I don't know why it's only using 58 watts. Not sure what that's all about. I guess we'll wait and see when this loads in on what happens. Well, it was working good, but then it hard locked again. Now, it could be that the card's not able to breathe properly because it's kind of stuffed in there really good. Between wires and a hard drive cage that doesn't have any hard drives, and the fact that the power supply is sitting right freaking there, it's not able to pull in as much fresh air as it needs. So that could be a problem. Probably the reason why they stuck a tiny little 4060 in there. So I have 2 options. One, try and remove that hard drive cage to see if opening up more airflow solves the problem. Or 2, I might return the card and get a refund. because it could also be a defective card. It's been giving me nothing but trouble since I installed it. So maybe the Acer Loser Nitro suck face was meant to live with a 4060. That could very well be the solution, which kind of sucks. But what can you do? Anyway, guys, I'm shutting this video down. It is what it is, right? One day I'll build a real gaming computer, but I'd rather build a better editing computer because I don't really play video games that much in the summer, but I still edit videos in the summer. I could also try removing the AMD card from there and sticking it in this rig and then putting the 3070 into that rig. I just don't know how well Magix Vegas works with AMD products. Could be something to look into. That might be a solution as well. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. And until next time, guys, live it to win it. Peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.